In this video, I'm going to be sharing some basic blogging tips for beginners who are just starting their blog or looking for some inspiration. So if you're thinking about starting a blog, let's start off first talking about why blogging is a great thing to do, either as a side hobby or, if you're thinking about doing it full time, trying to make a living from it. It's a creative outlet. When I started my blog back in college, it was just something to do on the side for fun, to be creative. So being able to share my knowledge, put things out there on the internet that other people could come across and find and see. I just like the creative process behind creating content. And then, the rewarding side is knowing that if it's valuable, it's getting shared on the internet, people are going to find it and it's going to help them. So that's where I started, just using it as a creative outlet, sharing knowledge on my passion subject, which happened to be golf at the time. I started my first blog in the golf space. Just loved talking about golf with other golf community people that were online. And then I started making some extra money. So that's another reason blogging is great. With time, as you build your audience, you can monetize your blog by placing ads on your website or linking to products on other pages or other websites, and people click through to these different links, and that can turn into customers and make you some extra money. So we go over more on how to make money in other videos. I even did a video where I showed you, how I was making $1,500 a week from one of my blogs. So it's definitely a good side business to start up, and it can turn into full time if you work at it. Additionally, I like the fact that you can connect with others and you get access to new opportunities. So again, using my golf blog as an example, there's a lot of other golf bloggers out there and golf Instagram accounts and Facebook groups. So I've been able to get into these different communities and connect with these other founders and other influencers. And that's led to some cool opportunities. I got to play in a social media influencer golf tournament in Scottsdale, Arizona earlier in the year, where I got to meet a lot of celebrity people in the golf space, some of the long drive hitter guys, other big golf account owners that have thousands, like hundreds of thousands, even millions of followers. So it's led to some pretty cool opportunities to connect with other people, and go to these events and things like that. All right, so where to begin? Here's some tips on how to start. So a lot of beginners, what holds them back from starting their blog is, they worry about what content to write. They're trying to figure out, what should I even talk about? But the good news, when you first start, you're not going to have that many people on your website, if anybody at all, depending on if you have an existing following already or not. When I first started my blog, I didn't really have a social media following yet. I actually started my social media accounts the same time I started my blog. So I had no audience for the first, 5-6 months as I built up my social media accounts. And eventually I drove some traffic from social media over to my website. And then down the road, my website started ranking in Google, and I started getting Google traffic to it, meaning people searching Google for golf content, and they find my website. So in the beginning, you can experiment with content when you have less readers. You can put out different types of content, and you'll find what's easy to talk about, what you enjoy talking about, and this will give you, kind of a roadmap on what kind of content to create in the future. You'll also learn what your readers like most. So as you publish this different content, same with what I do on YouTube here, when I put out videos on YouTube, you get to see how many views your content gets, how many shares it gets, and this can give you, social signals that tell you, okay, this piece of content was well received, it was liked by your audience, and you can create more content similar to that. So for example, on my YouTube channel here, a lot of times my Pinterest videos tend to get the most views right now. So I know that my audience is heavily interested in learning more about Pinterest. So that's one piece of content I enjoy, creating for my audience. And that's how you would approach it with your blog. You would look and see whatever topic you're blogging about, see what kind of content ideas seem to get the most shares and the most feedback, comments, likes, etc. All right, another tip is to treat your blog about value, giving value. Don't just think of it as a way to make money. Again, I started out with my blog in the golf space, just sharing knowledge of the game with others because I was passionate about it. I didn't get into a niche that I was trying to make a lot of money initially. If I would have, I should have gone into, the fitness or personal finance space, since there's globs of money being made on those types of blogs. But golf's a small niche. Not a lot of money to be made there unless you become one of the big time sites in the golf space. So I just did it, for the fun of it, giving lots of value first. I knew that later, if I built a good, solid website that got lots of readers, I could then monetize that traffic with ads. But over time, I also learned how to sell my own products and ebooks, and that's helped me, earn a decent living now from that golf site. So you're going to gain your loyal audience, though, just by giving them value, focusing on them. People can see when you're just trying to sell them, and that's going to turn them off. So if you're just creating amazing quality content, and then you happen to, mention a product in the article somewhere at the end, that's a good way to go about it, so that when they hit the landing page, that they first get that value from the article you wrote, or the video you filmed, or the podcast episode you recorded. And then from there, there's that little soft pitch at the end that could try to turn them into a customer. But again, when you combine valuable content with some kind of offer, you want your offer to be relevant to whatever that content was that you just gave value in, so that it has a better chance of converting them, to a customer if they take that next step. But overall, I think you'll find more fulfillment helping people, giving value first, and down the road, as you start making some money from your blog, it'll just motivate you more to create more exceptional, high-quality content. All right, consistency is our next tip. So the most successful blogs are consistent. I mean, we're talking they're publishing blog articles for years and years before they start seeing big success. Those websites that fast track it, they typically pay for traffic, so they'll spend money on Facebook ads, Instagram ads to get their brand out there ahead of time and get traffic to their website. And then from there, they build a following on social media as well from running these ads, and then that can turn into some traffic on their website. But a lot of times, it's a long-term game. You're going to look at these bloggers that share income reports that are making $60,000, $80,000, $100,000 a month. Some of them make, $250,000 a month. And these guys, they've been blogging for 7-8 years. And that's kind of the same route I've taken. I looked at it as a long-term game. So I just came up with a schedule that I wanted to put out at least one high-quality piece of content every week. So I've been contributing that to my blog for the last 4 or 5 years now. And, I've gotten to the point where now I'm able to make anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 a week from my website. So it's taken time to get there, but it's the consistency. I've even ramped it up now to where I'm putting out a piece of content every single day on my blog to try to generate even more website traffic. So that's the biggest, tip I think that's going to help you be successful is the more content you put out there, the larger your website can grow, the more traffic you can get to your website. But every piece of content should be quality. I can't keep stressing that enough in today's video. Because, the minute somebody lands on a web page on your website and it's, not very good information, they're going to immediately hop off and they probably won't come back ever again. But when you have those pieces that really stick out and help somebody, then they're going to remember you. They're going to refer you to their friends. They're going to share your content and they're going to come back time and time again. All right. You also want to have a schedule so your audience can get used to it. You see that a lot here in the YouTube culture. YouTubers will say, hey, I'm uploading videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday. In the blogging world, if you can, upload a post every single week on the same day or at least once a week, then people that come back and check your blog each month, they'll see, 3 or 4 new posts. And that consistency there can really help you kind of create a following. Your audience knows what to expect. Lastly, let's talk about patience. So patience is a huge part. Again, it takes time. It takes time first to get your website set up. It takes time to come up with content ideas of what to create for your blog. If you're going to film videos that you're going to put on your website and your blog articles, that takes time. Everything takes a lot of time. It takes hours and hours and hours of grinding away, creating content, and then marketing that content on social media. So you just got to have patience. You can't expect to, see results right away. Again, think of it as a long-term game where maybe 3 to 5 years from now, your website's got a lot of traffic coming to it and you're able to start monetizing it and making some decent side income. So it's not just something you can get rich quick if you're trying to do it for the money purposes. If you're doing it as a hobby and you're not trying to make money, again, you can't expect a ton of people to find your website right away. If you don't have an initial following, it takes time to build that following and get people to your website and reading your content consistently. So just have patience. And that's, a big tip I can't stress enough either. All right, lastly, you want to find support. So as you get started, you're going to have the initial hype and excitement to keep you going, but to keep that momentum going so that you don't get discouraged if you're not seeing the results yet you want to see, you need to find support groups. Your friends and family, they might not understand right away why you're running this blog. They think you're wasting time trying to build your website, build your blog, and they might not quite understand it. So it's best to find other bloggers you can connect with. They know exactly what you're going through. They've been there before. They've had issues with their websites where their websites have crashed, or their websites have got hacked, or spammers have injected malicious code in their websites. So there's a lot of techie problems that can go wrong with websites and blogs that you may encounter that may feel like a punch in the gut. Having nobody coming to your blog initially in the beginning, no readers, hardly not seeing much on the traffic reports inside of Google Analytics can be disheartening as well. So having the support groups, can really keep you going. If you're a complete beginner and you're confused by a lot of things, trying to figure it all out on your own, a lot of these Facebook groups that you can join are great places to ask questions, get questions answered, and use the experience from other bloggers to help speed up your journey as well. And that's where I decided, I went ahead and created a course a lot of people were requesting called Profitable Blogger. And basically it's a course to get the beginner up to speed on everything. It shows you exactly how to set up your website. You learn about web hosting, domain names, WordPress. You learn about plugins on a WordPress website, website themes. So the basics of setting up a website. And then I go more in depth into how you make money from your blog. So I talk about email marketing, building an email list, how to create your own products so that you can sell things on your website and make money that way. I also talk about other ways to make money like affiliate marketing or running ads on your website through Google Ads. So if you want to learn more, you can check out that course, Profitable Blogger. You can just go to my website, asknickfoy.com/courses. You can also check the links below in this video in the description. Again, it's called Profitable Blogger. It's a good way to speed up your learning curve. If you're a brand new beginner, you're going to spend hours trying to figure it all out yourself. It can be frustrating. So if you want to check out Profitable Blogger, you can do that. And let's go ahead and show you real quick too what kind of videos you're going to be getting inside. I'll go ahead over to the sales page. All right, so as we scroll down the page here, you can watch some of these intro videos, but you're going to see everything you're going to learn inside of this blogging course. And as we keep scrolling down here, you can take a peek inside at the curriculum. So you can see what the videos are, how long they are. So these are the different topics we cover. So Chapter 1, WordPress settings. Chapter 2, features of WordPress. Chapter 3, choosing a theme. Chapter 4, common questions. Must-have plugins. Website speed optimization so you have a fast website. Chapter 7 is all about the email list. So there's all those videos. Chapter 8, strategies to grow your website traffic, how to find website traffic out there on the internet, get them back to your blog. So we talk about the different methods and strategies. Chapter 9, how you can make money on your blog. And then if you want to sell your own courses, if you're an expert in your field and you want to teach people, you can create courses. So I can teach you that in Chapter 10. And then we've got all our downloadable files, bonuses. I've got new videos I'm adding here in 2019 as well. So I keep this course updated, creating new content and putting it in here. So you can check it all out. Again, here's the link, asknickfoy.teachable.com. Again, you can go to asknickfoy.com/courses. And I want to thank you again for giving me your time today, watching today's video, sharing the basic tips for bloggers, why it's important to find support groups, to give it time, to have patience, to give value to your audience. So these are all the things you don't hear most people talk about, so that's why we covered them today, because these are really kind of the hidden secrets to your success as a blogger, is just being patient and giving value and being consistent. Those are 3 things you can do to run a successful blog.